Why are you talking to me? Why are you looking at my story? What are these flowers for? That's a very Venus and Scorpio vibe. But she means well. Hey, Astro people that care. Welcome to November. This is a video that's going to be about this first week in November because there's a lot going on in this first week of November. We have the full moon in Taurus, November 5th, but leading up to the full moon in Taurus on November 5th, there's a lot going on. It's totally about to thunderstorm any second. A metaphor. The full moon in Taurus, it's going to illuminate our relationship with finances. It's going to illuminate our relationship with our values. It's another value check-in because the ruler of this full moon is Venus. And Venus is at the tail end of Libra, going through her own challenging bits. And the day after the full moon, Venus in Libra will move into Scorpio, where she has a much harder time busting through the concrete. Anyway, we'll get to her in a second. Full moon in Taurus is about our values, how our values have changed, how they are misaligned with the things that we're doing, the ways that we are taking action in our life, the ways that we are, Taurus is an earth sign, eating, enjoying our earthly time here on the planet, how we are engaging in pleasure, how we are meeting our basic needs. Taurus has a lot to do with resources, your own personal resources, and the sustainability of those resources. So Taurus is also going to look at our money, what we're doing to acquire said money, how we are spending said money, saving said money, etc. Also, we're in Scorpio season, so anything that we are attached to, our earthly attachments, anything that we are attached to that usually can be hidden, kept secret, or just pushed under the rug, not paid attention to, that becomes illuminated under this full moon. The full moon is always opposing the sun. So the sun in Scorpio is opposing the full moon in Taurus. And when you have this sun-moon opposition, there's a standoff. There's a natural face-off between what is on the surface and what is hidden and in the dark. Are you walking your talk? Are your physical choices and your dollar amounts, what you buy with your dollar, are you voting with your dollar in accordance with your values? Taurus, ruled by Venus, is also a representation of beauty and how you interface with beauty in your life. Do you prioritize maintaining a sense of appreciation for earthly existence? Taurus rules our physical five senses, things you can see, smell, touch, taste, hear. And how are you interfacing with that part of existence that brings you back to your body, that brings you back to the present moment? Do you utilize that in a way that is healthy, or do you do it in a way that is less healthy, escapist, some might say? Those are those shadow tendencies of Scorpio that are going to get revealed. There's a massive call to take inventory now on your physical life and your psychological life, how those two things are out of balance with each other. All full moons bring some really seriously heightened emotional energy, but of course that's not all that's happening. On November 3rd, Mars sitting at the very last degree of Scorpio, 29 degrees of Scorpio, okay? 29th degree is the anaretic degree in astrology. It's known, it has a fancy name because it's like the moment before you graduate, the final countdown, it's the final test, right? It's like all of the lessons of the sign kind of weigh on that moment. Mars, the planet of action, sitting at the 29th anaretic degree of Scorpio, a sign that rules intensity, depth, psychology. It's going on below the surface. We may be more inclined to take action on things that are happening connected to stuff under the surface. As Mars makes its final conversation at the end of Scorpio, it makes a trine to Neptune retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Now, these planets are in water signs. It amplifies, you guessed it, emotions, secrets, the things that we cannot see in the physical realm, the things that you can feel, dreams, hits, downloads, whispers, things in the spirit realm, intuition, creative impulse. Makes it really easy. We lean toward, we're more inclined to participate in impulsive action based on emotion. Now, it's a trine. Trines are usually beneficial, helpful. You just might do something that in the moment feels really good, like reach out to that person, say yes to that opportunity. And then the very next day, Mars moves into Sagittarius. You might have a very different feeling about whatever you said yes to, or that message that you sent, or the way you felt about something. So on November 4th, Mars moves into Sagittarius. It'll be there until December 15th. So this is a chunk of time where Mars, the planet of action, is going to be in a sign it likes being in. Mars in a fire sign gets shit handled. Mars likes getting shit handled. We like to get stuff done. We like to feel productive. Shadow of Mars in Sagittarius overlooks details. Mars in Sagittarius can be preachy, self-righteous. Any planet in Sagittarius really can, but Mars, because it's a planet of action, is going to take action to convince you, is going to try to convert you, persuade you a lot more aggressively in its shadow moments. What I can say about Mars and Sagittarius that I'm fond of is not only are we productive, but we are more inclined to explore. We are more inclined to try new things. We are more inclined to be adventurous, to hike, to go outside, ask a lot of questions, which I would advise is like the best possible use of Mars and Sagittarius, is to get really curious about whatever is actually going on. Because is it really going on, or is there more to the story? Mars and Sagittarius is going to want to know. So is Mercury. After this full moon on November 9th, it's getting ready to go retrograde. Just a heads up here. It's about to be a messy November, like communications and thinking you know the answer and then finding out later that you fucking definitely did not. There's too much to do in one video. That'll maybe be another one, but a heads up here. Very Sagittarius vibes. And then finally, November 6th, Venus is going to move to the sign of Scorpio. And Venus in Scorpio is rather ruthless. She does not give a fuck about flattery or frivolity. Doesn't mean she doesn't like to get flowers. It just means, like, what does that mean? Venus in Scorpio can sense the deeper meaning behind what's actually happening. Why are you talking to me? Why are you looking at my story? What are these flowers for? That's a very Venus in Scorpio vibe. But she means well. Venus is aware of what you're not saying. She's in the sign of Scorpio. Venus knows that there is a psychological trip going on beneath the surface, beneath the action, beneath the gesture. It would be wise, especially with Mars and Sagittarius, continue to consider what are people's motives behind actions, their words, the things that they're sharing with you. What's it really about? Venus and Mars in these signs are more concerned with the truth than almost any other sign. They want the truth. Venus in Scorpio is able to handle the truth than in other signs where she really just wanted to go to the party and wear the pretty dress and to be loved and adored by everybody. In Scorpio, she doesn't give a fuck about any of that. So per usual, I could go on and on because that's only some of what's happening this week. Combination of Mars in Sagittarius and Venus in Scorpio, bookending a full moon in Taurus. You guessed it. More analysis of what we value, what we're doing, period, especially in our relationships and how we are relating with other people. Are people that we are in relationships with, do they share our values? Do they care about things we care about at a similar level of depth that we care about them? It's gonna be loud. Venus in Scorpio is gonna go down into the underworld, into the depths of all the things that you're hiding even from yourself, not just other people, and she's gonna start making them cuts. She's gonna be cleaning out closets. She's gonna be beheading old pieces of yourself, really taking out the trash or setting them aflame. You know, it's very Kali vibes. Thank you to everyone who donates in order to keep these Astro People That Care rambles happening. Here's the link if you would like to donate so that I can continue to give you virtually free astrological advice and heads ups about what the fuck is going on. Also, I'm co-hosting an event. I'm co-hosting an event with El Bosque 101 and Courtney Arte. It's an interactive art and live music community gathering where I will be there. Readings by Noah for my Astro People That Care. You can come through and get a reading. It's going to be outside at a private location in the woods, and there will be a big bonfire, home-cooked food, live music by Motherbug, Alma Antigua, DJ Mahelani will be spinning vinyl all night. Like, a lot of cool things will be happening, so you should come through, check it out. DM me for the RSVP link.